Welcome all, and today we are going to start a new shift, that is, stop giving others a grade, start lending them a hand. No one likes feeling like they are being graded. No one likes the feeling of being constantly measured and monitored. That means no one likes to be micro monitored or micro managed. I have felt graded by others, and I know that within me a desire to grade others. It may not be intentional, but remember, no one intentionally steps into a snare. It is only by carelessly walking through life that we step into snares. So, if you are not careful, your critical thinking will make others feel like you are giving them grades. When you stand in the back of the room evaluating the performance of another team, pay attention to your posture. Pay attention to your countenance. Pay attention to what you say when you see them next. So these are the things that we need to pay close attention, and by which we can develop the self-awareness. This is not about whether you should convey the thoughts that could better those around you. It's about how you pass on those thoughts. I'm convinced that you can say anything, even hard and honest truth, if you say it in love and with a caring tone. Very, very important. You can pass, I'm convinced that you can say anything, even the hard and honest truth. That is also possible to convey if you say it in love and with a caring tone. That means the rapport has to be really good. If the rapport is need to be good, then we need to say with love and caring, not only in our words but also in our vibration. If we have that vibration for another person, then automatically that reflects, and we can convey any hard or honest truth easily. When you communicate critical thoughts to those beside you, below you, or to your boss, you need to do so with a helping hand, not a grading tone. We need to do so with a helping hand, very, very important, not with a grading tone. If we are doing it with a grading tone, it will not help, it will not work. Here are a few practical ways to do. Assure the listener you are for him or her. That means listening. First, we need to exhibit the listening skill. When we know others are for us, we can better hear feedback that might otherwise feel critical. So we can better hear feedback that might be otherwise feel critical. So good listener can listen very easily, even the critical feedbacks. Always present a solution to any problem you raise. Issue recognition does not win friends. Always present a solution. This is another trait that we as a leader has to possess. And issue recognition does not win friends. If you just issue recognition, yes, it is a problem. In long run, it will not work. We need to come up with a solution. Keep your blood pressure as low as possible when communicating feedback, because many a times when we are communicating the feedback, we become emotional, and that means in the emotional surge we might lose our temper, and that also indicates that our blood pressure might go high. If you can't talk about it without getting emotional, you are not ready to talk about it. Wow, this is very important. If you can't talk without getting emotional, then you are not ready to even talk about it. Deliver potential challenges in the rhythm of positive challenge. Deliver potential challenges in the rhythm of positive challenge. Some call it a compliment sandwich, and some just call it wise. So, compliment sandwich is also a good way to manage the feedback. Great leaders know how to communicate critical thoughts in a way that benefits others. Great leaders know how to communicate critical thoughts in a way that benefits others. Jesus knew just how to do it, and through the way he loved the woman at the well, the woman caught in adultery, and even his longtime disciple Peter, Jesus showed us the way. So this line is also very important. Great leaders know how to communicate critical thoughts in a way that benefits others. They don't get emotional. So keep the traits, let's revise. They don't get emotional while they express the feedback. They follow a compliment sandwich or a feedback sandwich, we can say. And then they are a good listener. They offer critic, critical, they offer a solution, not just recognize the problem. And when we are a good listener, we feel we can actually take any kind of feedback, whether it is positive or even critical feedback, keeping our equanimity intact. The next chapter says the power of the towel. The power of the towel, let's complete this. This will be completing the current chapter. This one page. Just just east of downtown Dallas sits Dallas Technological Seminary. I have spent a lot of time on that campus and feel a huge debt of gratitude to that institution. One of the most vivid images in my mind from there is a statue I passed hundreds of times. With fantastic clarity and deliberate emotion, this statue depicts a famous scene from the life of Jesus. It's a sculpture of Jesus in the upper room just before the Passover festival, and he offers a striking model for leadership. After the dinner, Jesus does something that was and still is almost unthinkable for any leader, let alone the Savior of the world. The upstore, the Apostle John sets the scene by telling us Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power. This is an odd statement. Powerful people do not do what Jesus do next. John continues, so he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that wrapped around him. When I was in school, I passed I passed the statue so many times that it eventually blended into my surroundings. It became invisible to me. Then one day, church history professor Dr. John Hanna eloquently brought this statue to life for me. At the beginning of the semester, he opened his class by telling us he was not there to give us a grade, but to give us a hand. Not to give us a grade, but to give us a hand. So important. His teacher has offered him a helping hand, but not here to give us a grade. He assured us that if we felt graded by the test and papers, it was unintentional. He wanted us to know that his desire was to help us more than he wanted to grade us. I can still feel the genuineness of his words. Dr. Hannah's words were wonderful, and as I passed this statue again, walking out of class, it immediately connected his words with those of Jesus. Jesus never held a clipboard, but if anyone had the right to grade others, it was the perfect, sinless Son of God. But that's not why he came. Jesus did not come to condemn the world, he came to save it. He was far more interested in helping others than in grading them. He was far more interested in helping others than in grading them. So think positively and be a critical thinker as well. Be known as a value add, a problem solver. As you pursue the skill of thinking critically, keep that image in mind, the picture of Jesus on his knee, towel in his hand, washing the filthy feet of his closest followers. How much humble he was or is, we can imagine from that. And that's the true quality of a true leader. Then he continues, and the author continues, the creator of stars and galaxies gave us a picture of what we need most to be served and washed clean in our heart of hearts. Jesus did for us what he needed most and deserved least. He could not have graded us, pointing out where we had failed and missed the mark, but he did not. Instead, he introduced us to the radical concept of servant leadership. So, Jesus introduced the radical concept of servant leadership. How? By grabbing a towel and dropping the clipboard. Thinking critically is crucial to becoming a leader who leads when you are not in charge. Thinking critically is crucial to whom? To becoming a leader who leads when you are not in charge. And as you learn to think critically, never forget that the towel is the way God leads us, and it is always more powerful than the clipboard. And this ends chapter 6, and from tomorrow we'll start another chapter, that is reject passivity. So thank you all for joining, and see you again tomorrow at the same